Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and the new edition of our online interview series. We want to talk today to Simon Dyakowski, the CEO of Aztec Minerals, which brought out some very good drill results. Simon, good morning to Canada. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, Jochen. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on today.
Yes, of course. Super. Thanks for taking the time. And yeah, I must say you had already in March some fantastic drill results. Now you brought, and I think it was 13th April, also again, to my understanding, very good drill results. I'm pretty sure you want to comment a bit on that.
Yeah, I'd love to. So we have just completed over the past few months a phase 2 RC drill program at the Cervantes gold copper porphyry project. And almost every single hole that we've drilled into our main target at the California zone has hit oxide gold. And we had a few headline holes that we reported back in March, and more recently last week on April 13th. The headline hole in March was 137 meters at nearly 1.5 grams gold, mostly in oxides, mineralization starting at the collar, so very shallow. And then last week we reported a big step out that hit about 152 meters of nearly 0.9 grams gold. So right in the range of that that bulk tonnage, heap leachable style of gold mineralization. And I've only listed two highlights, but hole 4 hit 167 meters of a gram. In our previous drilling in 2018, we hit 160 meters of 0.77. Another hole hit 140 meters, 0.71. So I don't need to go down the whole list. Investors, if they're interested, can look at our presentation. But we've hit about, every single hole has hit these wide widths of disseminated gold mineralization, in an environment that is amenable to heap leach gold mining. So we're very, very excited about what we've been uncovering with this phase 2 program. And the market's woken up a little bit to our news as of late.
Yeah, that's super. Finally, you get some traction here, which I really like because I'm a shareholder of the company also. And what I find interesting that you had again like a step out hole. So how far was that step out from the previous drills and mineralizations? Because I think this is the super important thing here. It continues, right?
That's very important. And basically the plan of the drilling was a grid. Back in 2017-18, we drilled a fence pattern. So we drilled a number of holes along a straight line running down the California ridge. And now we've drilled two parallel fences, and they're 50 meters. One is 50 meters south, and the other one is 50 meters north. So if you look at the plan view of where we've been drilling, it's about 50-meter spacing between each drill hole. So we have in the central part of the California zone quite a wide area now. Over 200 meters of width, and the total strike length of where we've drilled is now 900 meters, and we see oxide gold down to about 150 meters depth in many of the holes. So quite a large area is coming together here, tying together in this oxide gold model.
Great. I saw also in your press release, which I have here in front of me, that you found also minor copper oxides. Can you elaborate a bit on that? Copper for sure, we love it, but does it make sense? Could it be economical? Too early to say, for example, but for sure. But I think where copper is always some smoke and maybe some fire.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So yeah, it is, the target here, just to back up a little bit, the property it's very large. It's 3,600 hectares, and we have a number of outcropping porphyry style mineralization along a 6-kilometer corridor. There's a half dozen of these targets. Now we've only drilled a couple of them, California and a couple of other secondary ones. So the bigger model here is a gold copper porphyry system. So when we see copper in the bottoms of some of these holes, we get excited that it could be indicative of a larger ore body at depth. We haven't yet had a chance to drill deeper to test that, but we have some very strong geophysical data and geological data that indicates there's good potential for a much deeper sulfide system. So we think potentially that we're at the top, the gold zone is at the very top of a much bigger porphyry. And you can see the model on our presentation as well. We have a cross section showing a very, very strong chargeability high which means that we think that there's a sulfide ore body at depth potentially. So in the next round of drilling, we will bring in a diamond drill and core drill deeper and test to see what's driving those anomalies and see if the copper gold ties together with the near surface gold oxide. But I don't want to downplay what we've already found. It's very, very significant. The gold oxide cap in itself is potentially could amount to something that could be mined. So that's it's very early, of course. We don't have any economic studies, but the grades and the widths are right there with some of the nearby operations in eastern Sonora where we're located, and there's a half dozen projects that are either in production or ramping into production, in about a 50-kilometer radius around the Cervantes project. So a very good area in Mexico to be heap leaching for gold. And of course, we're smack in the middle of a very famous porphyry belt. So it's a very exciting area to be drilling right now, and it's taken us. You've been following the story for a while, but it took us a good 2-3 years to get back on the ground from the initial drilling to follow up. But now we plan to continue on, without any long gaps. So we're actively permitting now a follow-up drill program that we hope to start in the second quarter and continue to advance this project.
Yeah, that would be exactly my question, because phase 2 drilling is now complete. Have you released all drill holes, or is there still some more coming?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the drilling's complete. We still have 8 holes to report, and of the holes that we've reported thus far, we've only reported the initial gold numbers because those results came in first. So we still have the full suite of the other elements like copper and silver. Those are coming in the next few weeks. So that's from every single hole. We'll have the final results. And by the time we have all the final results, we'll have a game plan worked up for the next round of drilling. And we're currently permitting quite a number of sites to continue on drilling here.
Super. What could you imagine for the next drill program? How many meters? I mean, maybe a little bit too early to say, but to give us an idea.
Yeah, it's a bit early. So we want to drill through the summer before the rainy season starts. So I think we have time for another around a 5,000 meter program. But nice. This time we would bring in a diamond drill and core because the RC rig that we had last year performed very well in the shallow holes, but had a bit of trouble at the water table. So we'd like to bring in a core rig, which will enable us to drill some deeper holes, perhaps 400 to 500 meters in depth. So that there'll be a significant component of core drilling, if not entirely core drilling, in the next program. But I should caution that we haven't finalized the plan yet.
Okay, super. Yeah, and you have the money to do that all?
That is also subject to financing.
Yeah. Okay, good, perfect. So Cervantes looks great. I would say Mexico looks fantastic. What's going on with Tombstone in Arizona?
Yeah, I mean, Tombstone we haven't forgotten about. We had 2 very successful campaigns last year. So that's our second emerging discoveries at Tombstone, where we've drilled about 45 drill holes over the past 2 years. And same kind of story, almost every single one of them has come back with significant widths of gold and silver oxides. And so we're in the very, very shallow part of another, potentially much deeper system. And we focused really on getting, this is a past producing heap leach mine with a lot of historic silver mining in the district, about half of which came from the Contention zone, which is where we've been drilling. But we focused on expanding the shallow resource at the top of the pit. And we had some phenomenal results, just off the top of my head, 96 meters of 2.2 grams equivalent, 32 meters of over 6.3 grams equivalent. So we were, very, very pleased with those results. We do plan to go back there in the third quarter, and similarly to Cervantes, want to go back in with a diamond drill to get some core out of the ground. And that will allow us to deepen some of the holes that we drilled over the past 2 years that were, maybe drilled down to a depth of 125 to 150 meters. And then also to drill way deep below the pit into a polymetallic CRD model of mineralization that we have based on the Taylor Deeps discovery, which was made at the nearby Hermosa silver district back in 2015 by Arizona Mining. That yielded, one of the most significant discoveries of the last, couple of decades, and was acquired for, a huge premium back in 2018. So we have, a deeper target, and then we're going to continue drilling off the shallow oxide zone as well. And as I mentioned, that'll start around the third quarter. So, right off the heels of the next drill program at Cervantes, we'd like to go back into Tombstone and keep the ball rolling on both projects.
Super, I like that. So then one of the key questions is, of course, when do you think you can bring out a 43-101 resource estimate?
Well, we feel that, obviously subject to results and financing, but by the end of the next 2 drill programs at each project, we should have, sufficient drill hole databases in order to resource estimate on both. So by the, by the end of the year, we'd be in a position to do so. Wow,
that would be fantastic, because then you can show the market really, hey guys, this is what we found.
Exactly. Yeah. It's we've got significant drilling already in both, but we haven't found the limits. So that's another reason that we haven't pressed full force into doing an estimate yet, is because there truly are open in almost every direction at both projects. So until we start to find the edges, it wouldn't necessarily make sense to put a number on them, because it might not truly be indicative of what there is there.
Okay, super. Hey, sounds like a great game plan for me. Anything you want to add from your side?
No, I mean, I just would like to highlight that, I know a lot of probably your followers have known about Aztec for a while now. And I just would like to highlight that we're very active now, multiple drill programs now on both projects. And, we're not slowing down on either. We'll have plenty of updates, lots of drilling to come through the summer into the fall. And, the back half of 2022 could be, transformational for the company if we keep hitting the results that we've been hitting so far.
Super. And transformational means also hopefully higher share prices.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what we are looking for,
hopefully.
Right? Super. Simon, thank you very much for the update. Please keep the drills going, and please us with very good drill results. Just keep it going.
We'll do our best.
Super. Thank you very much. All the best.
Yeah, same to you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Simon Dyakowski, the CEO of Aztec Minerals. And you heard it, the drills are turning good results so far in March and April. Many more results to come within the next weeks and months. And also the drills will start again in the second half here, also on Tombstone, on Cervantes, of course. And they are really moving forward. So a 43-101 resource estimate, hopefully by end of the year, maybe Q1 next year. That would be fantastic to show what is here really in the ground. But those are very positive signs. I would suggest you really check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Austria today.